A warm welcome to all the webinar attendees present here. Our topic for the day is going to be managing requests using ServiceDesk Plus. My name is Vignesh. I am a product expert of ManageEngine. I have around 5 years of experience in ManageEngine. Our agenda for the day is going to be how can we implement field and form rules in ServiceDesk Plus on the request catalog? How can we create custom triggers in the product? How can we effectively make use of request custom menu? How can we use the latest chat feature in the product? And how can you customize the self-service portal of a user? And also, how can you integrate our help desk tool, ServiceDesk Plus, with other ManageEngine products? So I'm going to take you to my application. First of all, let's understand what field and form rules is all about and how we can use it on the product. Field and form rules are a set of rules that can be executed on a request form. So I'm going to a form right now. So let me take a frequently requested service, requesting a laptop. As you know, multiple users in our organization might need a laptop to work on it, because predominantly most of our companies are IT companies. So this is how a laptop request form looks like. So since we are talking about laptop, as you can see, I have created some resource questions. So first of all, I would like to say what resource questions are. Resource questions are a set of predefined questions which you can configure on the template so that you can collect as many information as you want from the user with respect to the service we offer. So I have created some predefined questions like laptop model, operating system, what is the RAM he's looking for, if he wants an additional monitor, in case if he's a designer or something like that, or what are the softwares he needs, and also the other things like who can see the template, etc. So this is how I have created this form. So how I'm going to use field and form rules in this form. So in my case, the use case scenario I'm going to take is the type of users who are present in a normal organization. In an IT company, like for ours, for example, you have designers, you have developers, you have managers, marketing team, support, and also trainees. So I'm going to make this user type as the criteria, and I'm going to create a set of rules in the request form so that I can maximize the usage of the template. So let's say, let's take a designer. If a designer is requesting for a laptop, as you know, designers need multiple monitors because everything is on the UI. So what I'm going to do is only for designers, this resource question, additional monitor required, will come up, because for a support person or for a trainee, because a support person in general uses a thin client device, a desktop, a laptop itself is not required for him. So for those any person other than designers, I'm going to ensure that these two fields does not pop up, but only for designers these two fields will come up. I'm going to show you how this can be done in the field and form rules. So I'm going to go to the field and form rules section, and I'm going to create a rule right now. So when the form loads, I do not want the monitor question to show up on the screen. So I'm going to create a rule called monitor, and the condition which I'm going to specify is on field change. So I'm sorry, when the form loads, I do not want the monitor questions to show up. So I'm going to select hide fields, and the fields are additional monitor required and how many additional monitors required. So when the form loads, these two fields will not be shown on the template. So this part is done. The next thing is, as I said, I need to ensure that if the user type is going to be designer, I want these two questions to show up, and I want how many monitors required as a mandatory field. So I'm going to create another rule called, let's say, monitor for designers, and the condition is going to be on field change. The field name is user type. So because the user type is the criteria, so the user type is designer, and the action is going to be show fields additional monitor required, how many additional monitor required, and as I said, I also want the how many additional monitor required as a mandatory field. So I'm just creating another action, mandate field, how many additional monitors required, and I'm gonna save this. So this part is done. So let's go live. Let's make use of the template. Let's find out what happens. And also, if you notice, I have another rule as well. When the form loads, I do not want all the tasks to be set. By default, the tasks will be unset because let's say, for example, a support person or a trainee is going to use a thin client desktop. So the laptop part itself is ruled out. So by default, I have ensured that these tasks are unset. And also, if a support person, if he is going to select that I need selecting the laptop, I do not want him to create a request. I'm really sorry, guys. I'm not sure what the problem was. The call dropped. I had to call again. So I just want to ensure that, am I audible again? So can you please post your comments over there so that we can continue with the field and form rules usage? Thank you so much. So what I'm going to do is I am going to stop the users who are support people or trainees. I'm going to stop them if they select laptop. So I'm not going to allow them to create a request. So I'm going to create a rule called stop request on form submit. So when they click on submit, I want an alert message to be shown. So I'm going to select the condition as user type is support as well as trainee, and I'm going to ensure that they get an alert message if they select laptop. How am I going to do that? This can be done via scripts, and as you can see, if the condition is met, the script will provide us a prompt message. So I'm just going to select that right now, and I'm going to save this. So now I have all the scripts which are required in the form based on different conditions. So I'm going to create a request using this template, and I'm going to show you how these field and form rules which we have created works. So I'm going to go to the request catalog, hardware. I'm going to select request a laptop, which was the template which we were using. And the first script which I'm going to use, or the first condition which I'm going to trigger, if you notice, I don't see monitor related questions over here because on form load, I have disabled those two questions. So if I select the user type as designer, automatically the additional monitor required and how many additional monitor required fields show up, and this field is also a mandatory field. So I'm going to create a request right now, and let's find out how it goes. So I'm just selecting the additional monitor required as yes, and as suggested, how many monitors required. I'm just selecting one, and as per the script which I created, by default these tasks are not set. So I'm going to click on add request, and as per the designer's need, a request is created. So the next scenario which I'm going to show you is what happens if a support or a trainee creates a request using the same template. So The next person is going to be a support person. So I'm going to select the user type as support. And as soon as you see we get a prompt message. Laptops are not applicable for support profile. Please contact system administrator for details. But still, I need a laptop, let's say, for example. So I'm going to click on OK. I'm going to ignore this and I'm going to submit the form. So let's find out what happens. If I click on add request, I would not be able to do it because I have ensured that I put a script which says stop the form submission. So the request cannot be submitted. So I don't have any other choice. I have to ensure that I do not select a laptop if I'm a support person. So this is how in one single template, we can do multiple activities using field and form rules. So, and as you see, I have a lot of tasks set over here. And all these tasks are related to questions over here. So if I select the laptop model, only then these tasks is valid. So what I can do is I can create a few more rules to set tasks automatically. So I'm going to just show one as an example so that we can know that we can also use field and form rules to set tasks as well. So I'm going to go to the same template, request laptop, and I'm going to go to the field and form rules again. And as you can see, we have a rule for unset tasks. So if I have to set task, I have to create a rule. So what is the condition? So the condition which I'm going to do is once again is going to be user type. On field change is going to be user type. And also I want the tasks to be set based on the question. So the question is choose the laptop model. So on field change, choose the laptop model. And let's say the laptop model is Dell. I want the task related to laptop set. So I'm going to select set task and I'm going to select provide the requested laptop. So only when this criteria is met, then the laptop would be requested. I can also select multiple things. It's not like Dell alone. I can even select Mac, Sony, whatever laptops I have. I can just select them and I can click on save. So now let's find out if I fill the question, choose the laptop model as Dell, whether automatically the task is set or not. So I'm just going to create another request, or I'm just going to show you how the form will dynamically change. So I'm going to go to the hardware. I'm going to select request a laptop, and the criteria is going to be this. So choose the laptop model would be Dell, and automatically provide the requested laptop is set. So I can create n number of rules stating if the operating system field is selected, then the requested OS should be set. If the RAM specification is done, then, or if the software required is done, then the task related to that is set. So we can ensure that in one single form, we can create n number of rules, and based on the criteria or based on the values the user select, the automated actions can happen. So the whole point of having field and form rules on the UI is to ensure that there are to minimize the creation of multiple templates. So you can have one template and you can do multiple things. For example, requesting a hardware, I can do it in one single template. Let's say an onboarding process of a user. Let's say a new employee is being onboarded. I don't have to create multiple templates for a temporary employee, permanent employee, let's say manager, etc. I can manage them in one template effectively using field and form rules. So as an admin, what we need to do is create n number of questions or resource questions required on this service. And according to that, you have to use field and form rules. So this is how field and form rules work. So the next thing which we are going to do, because field and form rules, everything can be done on the UI. It is a browser based or client based. There is no server involved in field and form rules. But the next feature, as per the agenda, which we are going to talk about, is custom triggers. So what is custom triggers? Custom triggers are something, or it's also a rule which can be invoked based on a condition. So I have got two custom triggers over here, two custom triggers with scripts, and I'm just going to explain you how it works, and I'm going to implement that for you as well. Let's take this script for an example, conditional approval. So if you open the script over here, I have a condition where if the category is hardware, then automatically a script is called. So this script what it does is it ensures that, let's say, if I select the user type as a designer, then the reporting to person of the designer, automatically an approval notification will be sent. So if I select the user type as a support person, his manager or his reporting to person, automatically an approval email will be sent. So you don't have to specifically select the approver in the template. So based on whom you select, the script itself will automatically send the approval. So the first thing, as you see over here, what you need to do is you have to ensure that the script which you create should be placed in this directory, ServiceDesk Plus integration custom scripts directory. And the script which we are using here is a Python script, because as you know, Python is also a language which we support. And other than that, you can use JavaScripts, batch files, etc. So since it's a Python script, the parameter which I'm using is Python, the name of the script, what is the field, which is the criteria I'm using, and this is the library, JSON library. So for more information with respect to script, you don't have to note all these things down, because we do have a website in which we have the screenshots of how it works, the script itself, everything is available. So I'm just going to take you to that website. It's resources.manageengine.com, where all our resources are present. So I'm just going to go click on resources. And as soon as I click on this, all the scripts which we have created, these are the frequently requested activities or automated actions for our customers. So you can see n number of scripts over here. These activities cannot be achieved on the UI, so that's the reason why you have scripts. So go to this website, whatever is your requirement, check here, and if your requirement matches, click on it, see how it works. And if you have any questions, we are always here to help you. And in case if you need something else, also we have our script writers over here. They can write the scripts for you. So this is the website. We will add this website in the recorded version as well, so that you can make use of this. So I'm going back to the script again, and as you see, the criteria is service category is hardware. So I'm going to show you how this works. So I'm going to go back to the template again. Let's take the same template, request a laptop, because the category here is hardware. So if you notice here, I do not have a predefined workflow. The approval is empty. So as per the template, there should not be any approvals. So I'm going to use the same template. I'm going to create a request, but I will match the criteria which I have in custom triggers. Let's find out what happens. So I'm going to create a request now. The user type, let's say it's going to be designer, and the condition category for this template is hardware. So I'm just going to click on submit request. I have matched the criteria. So I'm just creating the additional, I have to fill the additional monitor field since I have field and form rules. So I'm just going to click on add request. The request is created. Let's find out whether the custom trigger is invoked or not. So as you see over here, it gets invoked, approvals added successfully using custom triggers. So if I refresh the page, I should see a tab called approvals. I see that, and there are two people who have been reported, and these two people are the reporting to person or the manager for that particular user, since he's a designer. Just an example. So like this, you can specify for different criteria, you can specify different approvals. So if the criteria matches, automatically the approval will be sent. So this is one example for custom triggers. The next example which I'm going to take is sharing a request, because I'm pretty sure that you guys are aware of our new feature. We have a feature to share a request to multiple people. Let's say, for example, in my company is present in multiple sites. So I have, let's say, our organization is in London, Melbourne, New York. And for respective sites, we have respective technicians. So in general, the technician who's involved in Melbourne might not have access to the tickets which are created in London. So if he has to work on a ticket as a special case in London, then as of now, people might be, what they will be doing is they will change the request site to Melbourne so that the technician can see it. They'll modify the rules. N number of workarounds has to be done in order to complete this activity. But as of now, because of the sharing request feature, all these things are thrown out of the window. We can use it using custom triggers. So I'm going to take any template. Let's take mail fetching, and I'm going to create a request now. And the condition for this is I'm selecting the priority as medium, just an example. That's the criteria I have created. So it says unable to fetch emails. Who is the person to whom I want to share the request? So let's take this person, James. That's the person whom I want to share this request. So I'm selecting James, and I'm going to click on add requester. So James is the person I'm notifying, and I'm clicking on add request right now. Let's find out what happens. If I go to the history tab, this custom trigger should be invoked. Yes, action result, share request updated successfully. So if you want to know whether James is seeing this request, you have shared details over here, and it is shared with the requester James. So I can share with user, I can also share with technician as well. That is the special functionality of sharing a request. So it is not only technician to technician. Let's say that I have my CEO is present on the site London, and it's going to be a critical case which he has to have a look at, and he only has access to his particular site. So in this scenario, for this specific request, I can make use of this. I can share this request to a user as well. So this can be done for users as well as technicians. So this is how custom triggers works. So custom triggers are server-based scripts. So firstly, we need to ensure that the script is placed in ManageEngine ServiceDesk Plus integration custom folder directory, and also you have to ensure that in the script you might be specifying a criteria. In my case, user type is the criteria, designer. So you have to have that field on the application. Like this, you have to check a few things, and if you need assistance on it, we are always here to help you. So this is how custom triggers works. So the next functionality which we are going to go is request custom menu. So I'm not sure many people will know that we have this feature because it's one of the rarely used features. So I'll tell you what this request custom menu is all about. You can invoke a script or a batch file manually on any request at any time. All you need to do is you have to create a custom menu. As many people know, Jira is a bug tracking tool. So in an organization, you would be working on multiple things. The developers, the testers will be working on multiple things. And in case if they find a problem, if they're using a bug tracking tool, like for example Jira, they have to go to that particular tool and they have to create a request. So in order to avoid that, from the help desk tool, the critical tool which you use, you would be able to create a request directly on the Jira software. So for that, all I need to do is just provide a name to it. Who are the people who are going to see that custom menu feature, and what are the templates in which you can use this feature. And as you can see over here, the example itself is about Jira. So I'm going to select the HTML file to load is create_Jira_ticket, and where the file is stored in CMDB create Jira ticket.bat. So I'm going to call this script right now. Let's find out what happens. So I'm just creating a normal request, and I'm going to click on add request. Oops, subject. I'm going to click on add request, and once the request is added, in the actions, whatever custom menu which I created will be shown there. So if I found that there is a bug, I have to create a ticket in Jira. All I need to do is actions, Jira request. So if Jira is integrated with ServiceDesk Plus, unfortunately in my organization or in my installation it is not, automatically a request will be created in Jira. So that's how request custom menu works. So the next functionality as per our agenda, which we are going to discuss about, is chat feature. So as you know, in the latest version of ServiceDesk Plus, you see at the bottom over here, we have a chat functionality where requesters have one more option to create a ticket that's using chat. So I'm going to show you how this works in real time. So I'm going to log in as a user, and let's find out how this chat functionality is all about. So I'm just selecting as guest. So as you see over here, I have a live chat pop-up showing around, or it's blinking. I can just click on it. So let's say that I'm going to create a new request right now. We'll do both the scenarios. I'm selecting new request and I'm saying hi. So as of now, a request is raised. It says, welcome to live chat. One of our technicians will be with you soon. So I'm waiting for the technician. So once the technician shows up, the technician will initiate the chat. And as you see, our administrator is one of the technician. He has accepted the chat and he says, how can I help? And automatically the color is also changing. If the last reply is from the technician, you would see this in orange color. And if I have to type, it will change to black. So I'm just typing something. So the administrator is working with me on this right now. So let's say that everything is done, the chat is completed. So I'm just going to close this, and now I'm going to move to the other scenario, existing request. So if I click on existing request, it's going to show me what are the pending requests which I have. So all these requests over here has not been resolved from my IT team. So if I want to know the status of this, I can just click on this and I can say like it's not resolved. So the live technicians who are there, they will automatically help you in solving the problem, or they will tell you what is the current status of that particular request. So the view which you're looking at right now is exclusively a user's point of view, how it looks like for a user. Let's say that if it's a technician, how it looks like is as soon as he completes the request, if he's going to say that, okay, as you see, the message here is administrator close to your chat. He will get two options, whether to close the chat alone or to create a request as well, because in the end, it is a request which was created by the user. So I'm going to log out as a user right now, and I'm going to log in as a technician, and I'm going to show you how this looks like in real time for a technician. So as of now, there are no chats which are raised, but let's assume, or let me ensure that I get a chat request right now. So if a user has a problem right now, and if he raises a chat request, you see a blinking option, I get the time as 90 seconds. So within 90 seconds, I need to pick up this request, or else the chat won't work and it will automatically create a request. So let's say I pick it up. So as soon as I click on pick up, so what happens is I would be able to work on this, but unfortunately I do not have the privilege on this, so hence I'm getting an error. But in case if I miss this chat, then after 60 seconds automatically this will be created as a normal request if the time is not met. So where are these settings all about? How do I say it's 90 seconds, etc.? So we have a setting in the administrator tab called chat settings under help desk customizer. This is the place where the administrator decides what is the chat response time, and let's say network team, they're not gonna get requests from a normal user. So there is no need for this chat functionality for the network team. So I can decide what are the teams which can use this chat functionality, like the IT team, let's say the finance team, some emergency, they can make use of the chat functionality. But other than that, I also have an option to exclude this chat for groups, sites, specific technician. Let's say administrator is just going to monitor how the chat functionality works. So if I don't want the administrator to take chats, I can exclude him. And what is the welcome message? What is the missed chat message? What is the transfer chat message? Transfer chat also will be extremely useful for you. Let's say that my shift is done as a technician, and if I have to transfer this chat to another technician, that option is also possible. And this is the place where you select the response time. So if 90 seconds is not enough, you can change the response time to something else. And if you want to know the history, this is the history of each and every chat. So as an admin, I know what is the conversation which is happening, what is the missed chat content, what is unpicked, what is ongoing. So this is what the chat functionality is all about. So the next feature which we are going to look in is self-service portal. I would say it's a very important feature because in help desk tool, we need to ensure that how is the portal looks like for a normal user, so that he can maximize the portal usage. Because if he uses the portal more, then you can have n number of templates, and these templates can be used by the user. Because if he's not using the portal, he's just going to send emails, and automatically the ticket will be raised, but the template usage will not be there. So we need to ensure that the portal looks like we need to ensure that the portal looks in the best way to a normal user. So this is the place where you can customize the self-service portal, admin tab, general, self-service portal settings. So I can decide how the portal looks like. Announcements, according to me, is a very important feature for a user's portal. Let's say that if our Outlook is down, or a mail server is down, or the server is down, we need to ensure that all the users are known about that this is down. The announcement should be catchy or live, So I need to ensure that this has maximum amount of space on the portal, and I can decide where this is going to be. And the next is the KB article. So I can rearrange this particular portal according to my need. And if I don't want a particular widget, I can close the widget. If I want this particular widget to have maximum space, I can have maximum space. But other than this, as you know, in a help desk tool, people might need multiple links to work on. That's not only within the tool, that can also be external links as well. In that scenario, we provide you an option, add widget, where you can add external web addresses as well. Let's say that you're using SharePoint, for example. So I can add SharePoint's web address over here, so that the user does not have to open a new tab, provide the SharePoint URL, and do multiple activities. The web address will be present in the widget itself, and I can just add the web address. So as soon as I click on add, it will be added here, and you can rearrange the widget according to your need. So this is one of the important features in the self-service portal, where you can decide how the self-service portal looks like. And also one more thing, or one more interesting feature which we have, is backup technicians. Because most of them know that we have backup technicians, but in general, the backup technician works on the due by date of the request. That is when the request is going to be violated. But now we have provided two options where you can decide how the backup technician is going to work. Whether, let's say that the technician X will not be available for the next 2 days. So if I select create a date, then whatever tickets which are assigned to him for the next 2 days, that is when he's on leave, that will be automatically assigned to the backup technician. So I have an option to select whether it's going to work on created date or due by date. That's one option. And another option which you see right above that is remove system generated notifications for closed active archive request within a specified time. Because this feature is very important, because if this is not enabled, then the database size is going to grow, and the notification table will be really huge, and it will cause different kinds of problems. So if this is checked, then you can decide the lifetime of a system generated notification. So if I select 24 months, then other than the last 2 years, all the system generated notifications will be automatically removed. Like this, you have all the settings for the user's portal. You can decide the settings over here. We provide you n number of options. So go through the self-service portal settings and customize your help desk in the best possible way you want to. The next part which we are going to go is integrations, because as you know, this is the help desk tool, and you need to ensure that the help desk tool gets integrated with multiple other tools. Let's say the tools which manage your Active Directory, the patch deployment tool, the reporting tool. Like for example, if you have any tools like the BI tools for reporting, you need to ensure that they are integrated with your help desk tool, so that you can manage everything from the help desk. So in our product, since ManageEngine, as you know, other than ServiceDesk Plus also, we sell multiple IT products. So we have an option called integrations under general settings. And our product, what it does is, a product has the capability to integrate with multiple other tools. So just for example, AD Manager Plus. This tool, basically what it does is, if a user is locked from the Active Directory, what happens is you don't have to go to the Active Directory, you don't need to unlock the user. If you have this tool, from this tool itself, you would be able to unlock the user. So if this tool is integrated with ServiceDesk Plus, then you have multiple actions, which you see over here. If I have to create a user, I don't have to go to the Active Directory managing tool to create a user. I can use this template and I can create a user. If I have to delete a user, I can use this. If I have to reset a user's password, I can use this. I can unlock a user using this. So the ServiceDesk Plus can be integrated with your Active Directory management tool, and with the help of that, in this tool itself, you can do the desired activities. The next thing is the patch management tool, which you see over here. So if ServiceDesk Plus is integrated with your patch management or inventory tool, then you don't have to go to the tool to deploy a patch. You see all the other products which ManageEngine provides. All those are available at the top. I can just click on Desktop Central, and if it is integrated, I get multiple options to deploy patches. So I would be able to deploy the patch from one single click from the help desk tool. And similarly, you have reporting tools as well, because as you know, we need to ensure that our unresolved KPIs are monitored. So we have two tools which is exclusively for reporting and also live dashboards. The tool, we call that tool as Analytics Plus and Zoho Reports. Analytics Plus is an on-premise version. Zoho Reports is on cloud. I'm just going to show you, if Analytics Plus is integrated with ServiceDesk Plus, how your dashboard in ServiceDesk looks like. Because as of now, you only see dashboards related to ServiceDesk. So if Analytics Plus is integrated, let's find out how we can monitor our unresolved KPIs, live dashboard. I'm just going to take you to our demo version in which we have integrated Analytics Plus with ServiceDesk. And if I click on dashboard, we will see how the dashboard looks like. So I'm just clicking on incoming tickets dashboard. So you see that we would be able to know what is the trend of the incoming tickets, live trend. Look, as of now, we are lagging behind, and for the week 2017, we were ahead by 4. So you would be able to, you can just select what you want over here, and automatically the dashboards will be present. It's very trendy, and you would be able to know the productivity or the things which was the KPIs which are unresolved. So like this, you can build your own dashboards. All dashboards are live, and you can have n number of reports, and we can use it. So the reporting tools also can be integrated with your help desk tool, and you can have all these tools in one click. So the Desktop Central, which I said, I'll be able to deploy the patch from one single click from the help desk tool itself. I can manage my mobile device, I can manage Active Directory, etc. So with the integrations feature, you can integrate our help desk tool ServiceDesk Plus with multiple ManageEngine products. So I guess we are at the end of the webinar, where we have discussed about all the agendas which we had for the day: field and form rules, custom triggers, request custom menu, live chat, self-service portal, and integrations. Thanks a lot for your time, guys, and I really hope you have a wonderful evening. Take care. Bye-bye.